Well, good morning, everyone, to our Sunday morning Vinyasa class. Let's start in a comfortable seat. Grab yourself a set of blocks or some thick books is another way that you can use blocks to help you elevate. We're going to use them later for back bending. So let's start right now in a comfortable seat. Soften your gaze, close your eyes, relax your shoulders. Come into awareness of your body. Preparing ourselves for practice is almost as important as the practice itself. You want to make sure that you leave the past behind, leave the future somewhere out there in the distance, and come into the present moment. Let each breath be received. Each out breath be an option or a chance for you to release and let go anything that doesn't serve. And what I mean by that is letting go of thoughts, ideas, preconceived notions that just maybe don't serve you at this moment. Maybe they've served you in the past, and maybe they'll serve you again in the future. But in this moment, there's no need for them. So we surrender them, we let them go. And in this way, we kind of start our practice in a little lighter way. One more deep breath in, expanding the lungs and rib cage, filling up the heart center, and then exhale, another chance to surrender. Good. With the next inhale breath, we'll bring the palms together at the center of the heart, and then we'll open the sacred space of our practice today with the sound Om. Inhale to begin. Om. Exhale, release the hands, bring the chin down. Take a moment to blink your eyes open. Let the light enter your eyes once more. And then inhale, roll the shoulders up, back, and down a couple of times. You can release the arms to the sides. Using the breath to move into the shoulders. Let's go the other direction. Back, up, and forward. The arms just kind of hang heavy, floppy. And then inhale, let's reach the arms out to the sides. Extend like a full stretch out to the sides. Activate your palms, your fingers. Turn the palms up. Inhale again, draw them up slowly. Just stay with the arms a little distance apart, reaching through the fingertips, and keep the gaze forward for now. Try to roll the shoulders back and really extend through the body. Feel the parts of your body that are connected to the earth. So your sits bones pressing down, tops of your feet and your shins pressing down, arms reaching up, active. One more breath, inhale, look up, and maybe bring the palms together. And then exhale, let's take a gentle twist. Again, it doesn't matter which side. You can take one hand in front, one hand behind, or one hand to the knee, the other hand behind. Use the hand that's in front or on the knee to pull you a little bit more into the rotation. Nice steady breathing. Exhale. Remember, Vinyasa is about movement with breath. One more inhale. Exhale. Okay, inhale, draw them back up again. Maybe you keep them apart. Maybe you look up and palms together. And then exhale, other side. Again, you can stay with the front, hand in front, rotating sideways, or take the hand to the knee. It's going to feel a little bit more of a stretch. So go where your body needs you to go today. Each inhale lengthens you. Each exhale finds you a little deeper into the rotation. Include your head, your neck, and your eyes even in the twist. One more deep breath. And then inhale, arms come up. We extend. Again, you can keep them apart, or you can look up, bring the palms together, and then exhale, hands to heart. All right, beautiful. Now that we've kind of moved into the spine a little bit, let's continue that rotation moving into the spine by coming onto all fours. You can move your props out of the way here for a moment. Come onto hands and knees. So as we start on hands and knees, make sure that your knees are below your hips so that they're not behind your hips and they're not too much forward of your hips. Same with your hands, wrists, and arms. Stack them right underneath your shoulders. And then just start to notice how your back either naturally sinks and your shoulders kind of take on all that weight, or you can start to activate so that your arms are doing a little bit of pressure, pressuring down into the mat. Same with the tops of your feet. This alone here is a four-legged plank, and it's the preparation for a bigger plank. So as we press into the fingertips, start to feel this activation. It's not just about sinking and being on all fours. Activating through there. Good, very nice. I saw that change, Mindy. Beautiful. Now, as we go into the inhale breath, let's roll up into a cow. So all that means is the tailbone tilts up, the shoulders roll back, and the chin opens. And then exhale, we'll curl into a cat. So the tailbone tucks under, the belly draws in, the rib cage draws in, the shoulder blades separate, and you're still pushing that floor away as the chin tucks to the chest. Again, inhale to cow. So these movements are, though we do them very repetitively in this class and in this practice, they take time to really kind of hone in and focus on the minute little changes in detail. So as we move from one to the other, we're going to do one more. Really try to feel the whole extension of your spine from tailbone to top of the head, crown of the head. Nice and elongated. And then the other way also from tailbone to crown of the head, but this time in a rounded position. And then exhale, bring the toes together, flatten out the back, and bring the hips back towards the heels. Now, if your hips and your heels touch, then you're welcome to stay there. If they don't, I want you to think about keep continuing to reach down, and then from there, so say there's a gap between my hips and my heels, I'm going to bring my elbows down. Now, if your hips touched your heels, then you don't have to bring your elbows down. You can just elongate your arms and come into the extended balasana. But if your hips are high, it's hard to bring the arms forward because all that's going to do is just bring you more forward. So I would say keep the elbows down if your hips are high and continue to reach until one day those hips extend all the way, and then you can release because now your weight is equal and distributed over the lower legs. Relax the shoulders wherever you are, whether you're actively reaching the hips back or your hips are already back. One more breath. Okay, a nice little side bend here. So walking the hands towards the right side. Reach the left arm as far as you can to the right. Drop the chin to the knee or the forehead to the floor right in front of the knee. And then the right hand can be placed right on the outside of the right knee, kind of using it like leverage as well to rotate you into the twist, into the side bend. Stay here for a couple breaths. So here I want you to focus on stretching the left side of the body. One more. Exhale. Inhale, lift the head. Walk the hands forward. Again, if the butt is not down on the heels, it's going to be a little different, a little difficult for you. Try anyway. Reach the right arm as far as you can. Left hand right by the knee. Then the head goes down. Maybe just chin to the knee or forehead to the floor. Keep pressing the right hip back and down. Use your left arm like leverage to twist you or rotate you a little bit more into that side bend. And try to target the right side of your body. Let your breath be calm and steady. One more. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift the head. Walk the hands forward. This time we're going to separate the knees pretty wide, maybe as wide as your mat. And again, extend yourself down. Maybe the chest or the rib cage or the chin can come down. Give yourself a few breaths here. One more. Exhale slowly. And then inhale, let's roll ourselves up, slide the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, back to our tabletop position. Okay, we're going to walk our hands forward slightly, tuck the toes under, inhale, lift the knees, exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Adjust your feet. So keep pressing firmly into the palms of your hands, not just the lower half of the palm closest to the wrist, but also up by the knuckles. Draw the belly deeply in as you move your chest towards your thighs. Many times when we first start this posture, the weight is forward over the hands and there's almost no weight in the back. So use the long extended legs. You can bend your knees a little bit here if you need to. Let's take this dog for a walk, pedal it out. One side, other side, moving a little bit through the hips. Looks good. Beautiful. Press firmly through your fingertips, shoulder blades separate. One more deep breath. Inhale, let the head relax. Exhale, look towards your upper thighs. Inhale, look towards your fingers and then walk your feet halfway up your mat. Separate your feet hip width. Relax into the legs, kind of softly bend into the knees and come into a hanging forward fold. Holding on to opposite elbows, letting your body extend. So if you have really tight legs, back of the legs, hamstrings, or even if you're just starting your practice, first practice of the day, like we are today, it's okay to bend your knees as much as you need to, even if your butt is way down like this. This is better than having the legs locked out and you're up like this. So really try to get down there. Good. Now, since we've been down here for a few breaths and we're getting used to the position of our feet, the weight is equally distributed between the big toes, the pinky toes, and the heels. Now, keeping your body long, try and straighten your legs without separating your rib cage from your thighs. So we try. And there comes a point where the red light comes in and your body says, yep, that's good, stay there. And then listen and stay. And that right at that fine edge where your body's telling you a little too much, stay. And then once you're at that fine edge, roll the weight forward slightly towards the toes. It's going to feel like you're going to fall forward. So if you need your hands just for support, just like not to bring weight to them, but just like, oh, okay, I can have my hands here because it feels a little scary, feel free to do so. But once you find yourself settled and engaging into your toes and the balls of your feet, hopefully it doesn't feel as scary. Let's stay one more breath, really trying to straighten those legs best we can. Exhale completely, rolling that weight forward. Good. Now bring the palms down, inhale, lift and lengthen. Now's a good time to really straighten those legs. You can also come to the fingertips, or since we have our blocks and we're going to be using them next anyway, you can bring your hands to the blocks. Lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back and lengthening the spine. Let's stay here another 5 breaths. Now this is Ardha Uttanasana, not a pose we usually hold very much. Normally it's a transitional pose. Today we're going to use it as an active pose. So the legs are strong, quadriceps contracted, knees straight, shoulders back, long spine, bellies in. Looks good. Use your blocks. Don't be worried about using your blocks. That's good. Now, exhale, bend the knees, let the legs relax a little bit. And soften the shoulders, no tension in the arms, no weight in the arms, just knees bent, relax. We're going to repeat that one more time. So, position your hands on your blocks. Remember, your blocks have levels, you can make them higher. Inhale, press your hands into the blocks, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, rock your weight forward. Good, belly draws in. That's it. You can walk your hands slightly forward if you like. So your fingertips kind of hang off the edge. Very nice. Good. Kathy, can you look forward, lengthen your spine? Spine up. There it is. Good job. Good. And don't torque your neck. So if you find your neck is too much forward, just stay straight down at the top of your mat. So your neck is in alignment with the back. Better. Better. Good. Good. One straight line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And then exhale, release. Let the head relax. Let the shoulders soften. Let the knees soften. No tension. All right, we're going to roll ourselves up to standing. So bend your knees and start to kind of let yourself lift. Arms hanging. Strong legs. Stack the knees over the ankles, the hips over the knees. The rib cage over the hips, the shoulders over the rib cage, and then finally the head comes up. All right, moving into our first vinyasa. We are going to use our blocks. Let's just move them forward and separate them a little bit. So you have some space in between. And then we're going to step forward so that our feet come together and the blocks are on either sides. So from here, Samastitihi, arms down, palms reach or fingers reaching down, palms facing your body. Draw in through the lower navel, lift up through the rib cage, relax the shoulders. Inhale, let's take the arms up. And let's stay here for a moment with the arms up. Exhale, press down through your feet. Inhale, reach up through your fingertips. And just like in our warm-up, the arms can be separated. They don't have to be touching. Again, inhale, reach up to the fingertips. Exhale, ground down through your feet. Inhale this time, let's look up. Maybe bring the palms together to touch if that's available. Exhale, let's take a fold. The hands can come down to the blocks, or if you have a lot of flexibility, bring your hands down to the floor next to your feet and let your head relax. So here you want to feel a full extension in the back of the legs, from the Achilles tendon all the way to the hamstring muscle. And then inhale, hands back to the blocks, look up. Exhale, walk your feet back. All right, now you're going to have these hands on the blocks. It's going to feel a little funky, but take your high plank. Hands are on the blocks, shoulders nice and strong. Good. Terry, bring your blocks a little closer to each other so they're not so far away. Get them on the mat. Yeah, good job. Now, from this position here, we're going to try and chaturanga. You have the block, so you're not going to come all the way to the floor. Allow your shoulders to strengthen, hug the elbows to the chest, and then drop down. Stay on the toes. Good. Exhale, drop the knees. Good. Drop the rest of your way down. Nice, guys. So now your shoulders are being supported by your blocks. Your chin can be down on the mat. Take another breath. And then exhale, slide your legs away and come into cobra. No pushing on the blocks, just hands resting there. One more breath. Exhale, push into the blocks and into your knees. Take a child's pose. Keep the hands on the blocks, even if they're kind of just the fingertips, that's okay. Keep reaching. Tailbone down, maybe just the fingertips on the blocks. Head down, or you can slide the blocks closer to you. And then inhale, roll up. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees. Adjust your feet. Downward facing dog. Hands are still on the blocks. A little bit different of a down dog with the elevation of the blocks. The shoulders have maybe a little bit more space. So instead of coming forward, push back into space. Ground your heels. All right, inhale, look forward. Step your right foot right between the two blocks. And pivot your back heel down. Bend into your right knee. Keep your right hand on the block and take that left arm up and over. So the right hand is on the block on the outside of your right foot. Good. Now, a couple of you guys are like this. Exhale. Drop those hips. Beautiful. Chin to the armpit and then look up towards the fingertips. Ah, you got it. Don't let your right knee come in. Open it out to the side. Good. Exhale. Drop the left hand down. Pivot on the left toe. Stay for a moment in the lunge. Stay for a moment in the lunge. Couple of you guys are like this. Sink it down. Good. All right. From here, straighten your right leg. You liked it better when I couldn't see you probably. Right leg straight. Lift the chest, shoulders back. And then exhale, fold here if there's room. Staying with the straight leg or a little bit of a straight leg is better than having that knee deeply bent. So try and straighten that right leg as best you can. Good. One more breath, either up or folded. If you're folded, inhale, we come up. Exhale there. Bend the right knee again. Back to the lunge, dropping the hip. Strong back leg. So we don't want to relax that left knee. We want to keep it extended. Now exhale, drop the left knee down and release the toes. All right. This should give you, allow you for a little bit of a break, a little bit of a respite, let's say. Come to the fingertips, lift the chest. Maybe we stay. Come to the thigh, lift the chest. Maybe we stay. Bring the arms down, find your balance. Maybe we stay. Inhale, maybe the arms can come up. See how that feels. Now we're going to go for a little bit of a rotation. So everyone, bring your hands into prayer. We're going to take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. So I like to use that right arm to help rotate me. Get that left elbow hooked. Then I can bring my hands back in prayer, push my palms into each other, dropping into the hips, pressing into the back of that left foot, or the top of the left foot, I should say. Finding the rotation there. Couple more breaths, stabilize. One more. Good. And then exhale, undo your twist. You can bring your hands back to the block. Take a moment, tuck that left toe under. Inhale, press the left leg straight. Exhale, right foot steps back. High plank. Okay, we're gonna try that chaturanga again. Hugging the elbows. We're gonna lower down with control. Take your time, hover, knees down. Drop your shoulders onto the blocks, chin down. So the shoulders can be supported by the blocks here. Slide your feet away and take cobra. Open the chest and ribcage. Good. Squeeze the legs. Exhale, press into the hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and press up. Downward facing. Adjusting your feet so that you feel even between hands and feet. Long extended spine. Hands are still on the blocks. The bottom part of your hand that's close to your knuckles, that part of that padding is pressing down into the mat. Your fingers are active. So you're not just dumping weight into your wrists. One more breath. Relax the head, exhale. All right, inhale, look forward. Step your left foot. You gotta hug it into the chest. Get high, get high, get high. Left foot all the way between. And then we're gonna pivot our back heel down. Drop the hips. So get yourself situated here before we move. Dropping the hips. Transferring the weight to the left hand. It's on the outside of the left foot. The left knee and the left arm making contact so that knee never separates. Keep it there so that that left hip can keep moving in a back position. Then spiral your chest, open up, and the right arm extends up and over as we drop into the hips. So it's natural for the hips to stay elevated like this. It's going to feel easier for you. Go and challenge yourself by dropping the hips, spiraling the rib cage, chin to the armpit, look up towards the fingertips. Settle down into your legs, back legs, super strong. Oh boy, we won't mind Zena walking through. All right, exhale, right hand comes down. Zena, come here. Sit down, find a spot and sit. Come on, right here. Want to sit here? All right, good girl. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and straighten that left leg. Extend it back and over. Here's a good opportunity to check in with your hips. Is my left hip moving forward? Can I pull my left hip back and my right hip forward? Can I square off my hips to the front? If there's room, you're going to fold. If there's no room, you're going to stay. Keep reaching your hips back. Keep trying to straighten the leg. Another breath. Good. Inhale, we come back towards the front. Stay strong in your hips. Give yourself a moment to sit. Yeah, there you go. Very good. Try not to put all of your weight in your hands. Keep strong weight in your legs. All right, everyone drop the right knee. Release the foot. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we come to the fingertips. Sometimes this in and of itself is a good thing. Maybe we come to the thigh. And we see, because coming to the thigh also involves balance. Now, if you come to the thigh, but you're like way up here chilling, get yourself down and forward. Good job. Or, again, maybe we release the arms. At this point, you're really trying to work with balance. You're pressing the top of the right foot and the front of foot down into the mat. The hips are dropping. And then lastly, the arms can come up. This is also an option. You're welcome to just pass on it. You can just keep the arms down, or even hands in prayer is another option here. All right, now we're going to go for that rotation. So left hand on the hip or thigh, right arm is going to scoop out that leg. So you want to get as much of that arm on that leg. Then you can bring your hands to prayer. Now, if your hands are over by your left shoulder, push them down towards your center. So towards the center of your heart as the hips drop down, and then you can look back. So this twist has a lot of stuff happening here. Take your time. If you fall out, you try again. There's no perfect practice, only your practice. One more breath. Do your twist. Good. And then let's exhale. Undo. Hands can come back to the blocks. The right toe can straighten or tuck under. Right leg can straighten. Give yourself a moment here. And then exhale, step the left foot back. High plank. Another opportunity. Oh, we'll wait for the dog to go through. Chaturanga. Do your best. Hover. Do your best. All right, drop the knees. Drop the shoulders onto the blocks. Drop the chin down. Good. And then extend the legs. Drop the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Cobra. Press the tops of the feet down. Exhale. Inhale, press to the knees. And go back. Child's pose. Reaching through the fingertips. Head down, shoulders relax. You can also slide the blocks back towards you now that we're done with that sequence so that the palms can be fully flat on the blocks. My knees here are fairly close together. They're not all the way touching, but almost. You're welcome to have your knees apart or all the way touching, whatever feels right for you. Let the head hang, let the neck be gentle. Take this moment to catch your breath if you need to. One more. And exhale. Good. Inhale, we're going to look up. Come back over to tabletop. Moving the blocks off to the sides. We're going to come to our forearms. And we're going to make sure that we are measuring out the distance of our forearms. Interlace our fingers. Press our palms or our forearms down firmly. We'll tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Prepare in dolphin pose. So this is our prepare. Your legs are fairly far from your elbows, but instead of having your weight forward like this, where your shoulders are stacked over your elbows, try to bring your weight back. So it almost looks like a down dog, but on your forearms. And then let the head relax. The head doesn't touch the floor. You're looking towards your toes. Your shoulders are active. Let's take 3 more breaths. 1, if it's too long, take a break, bring the knees down. 2, steady. Last one, deep breath in. 3, exhale, good. Look forward towards the hands. Lean forward, drop the knees. Take child's pose, this time with the hands back by your feet, head down. Okay, so that was the first round that we're going to try today. We're going to add a couple more things to it. So your dolphin pose is just an inverted V, but on your forearms as opposed to on your hands. All right, we're going to look up. Bring yourself forward again. Elbows down. Measure them out. Interlace your fingers. Now you have your little tripod stand. This is where you're going to start. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips. So if your shoulders are stacked over your elbows, push yourself back. Walk your feet a little bit, just like a step or so, maybe even half a step. So you're a little shorter than you were before. And now we're going to take our dolphin for a swim. So we're going to come forward, chin towards the wrist or towards the fist, and then back. Exhaling. Inhaling, we come forward. Exhaling, we go back. 2 more. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. I lied. 2 more. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Okay, now the last one. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Now this time we hold 1, 2. You can always bring the knees down. 3. You can always take a break. 4. We're almost there. I'm counting fast. 5. Exhale. Knees come down. Arms back. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. Relax the upper back. Head down. Let it go. Steady and calm breathing. Nice deep inhale. Slow, gentle exhale. 1 more breath. Okay. Inhale, come up, roll up. You're gonna have a block somewhere near you. We're gonna attempt something here in a moment. Don't think I'm crazy. So we're gonna sit up again, same thing, onto our forearms. Hold onto your opposite elbows, measure them out, get your connection. Walk your knees back and position your block right somewhere right in front of your knees. So your knees are back, okay? So this is how we're gonna start. Tuck your toes, push up, come into your down dog by walking your feet in. Now, this is where the crazy part's gonna lie. In our dolphin, our shoulders are pushed back, right? We're gonna bring our shoulders forward, and then we're gonna walk our feet until we can step onto the block. And then we're gonna hold. 1, try. 2, head is not touching. 3, push into your forearms. 4, stay strong. 5, come off the block. Back to your regular dolphin, and now it feels so easy. Head relax. 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your knees so you clear the block. Then push the block back and sit your butt down onto the block. Arms reach forward. Give yourself a few breaths there. Nice deep inhale, slow, gentle exhale. One more. Exhale. Okay. Inhale, come up. Roll yourself up. All right, so we got the block underneath our butt. So we're sitting in hero's pose with the block underneath. Your heels are kind of on the outsides or matching up with the outsides of your hips. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, draw the arms up. And exhale, bring the arms behind, interlace your fingers, straighten out through your arms. That was quite a bit of work in the shoulders that we just did. If you feel tired in your shoulders, you should. It was tough. So let's just give the arms a little bit of break here, the shoulders a little bit of a break here. The biceps, the triceps also work a lot when we do these types of things. Now, if there's a little bit more room for you to go, try to separate your arms from your body. This will make the stretch a little bit more intense. And exhale, release. Keep the left arm down, the right arm up, bend the right elbow. See if you can reach the left fingertips towards the right fingertips. Might take you a little wiggling, a little bit of adjusting. Once you have your fingertips or your grip, lift your chest and look forward. Stay and breathe. If you need more than just one block to sit on, you're welcome to stack them. One more breath. Exhale, let's release the grip. Right arm extends up and down. Left arm reaches out and up. We do the same thing on the other side. So the right arm behind, the left arm behind. We wiggle, we try, we attract those fingers towards each other. Maybe you need a strap. Maybe you just hold on to your shirt. Once you have your fingers, chin up, shoulder back, and stay and breathe. Getting that nice stretch to the shoulders we just worked so hard on. We want to make sure that we combine flexibility and strength. Very important. Too much flexibility without enough strength is not good, and vice versa is also not good. The balance of the two is what we aim for in this class. One more breath. Now exhale, release, and extend, and bring both arms down. Kind of shake out those shoulders. All right, beautiful. Let's make our way down to the mat. We can come off the block. So you can just try doing your jump through that we do in our Ashtanga class, or you can just come to seated. If you want to watch the jump through, if you want to try the jump through, you cross your ankles. You're going to place your hands somewhere close to your knees. Lift your knees up, slide your feet through, extend your legs, and then sit down. So this is the transition that we work on Saturdays and on Wednesdays. So let's go ahead and lay down onto our backs, grab the block so that, or have them somewhere you can reach them easily. We're gonna lay all the way flat. Once you're all the way flat, adjust your hips, the head, your shoulders. Let's bring the right knee into the chest, give it a squeeze. Left knee into the chest, give it a squeeze, both knees in. Take a moment here to make sure you're nice and flat onto the mat and the head is supported. All right, we're gonna separate our knees. We're gonna take a happy baby here. So within this happy baby, the knees are wide, arms are inside the knees, hands grab the feet or ankles. Find something on your legs. Once you have, then you're gonna lift your heels and have your feet wide apart. You can be still or you can rock a little bit side to side. Front and back sometimes feels nice. Try to keep your whole back flat on the mat the best you can. So really you're pulling your knees down towards the floor. Let's do 2 more breaths. Exhale. In and out. Next inhale breath, start to lower the heels. Release the feet or ankles and then hug the knees back in towards the chest. All right, let's go ahead and bring both feet down. So we're going to start with a simple bridge. Sorry, Dookie, you're in my way. Starting with the simple bridge, your arms are going to be down by your sides. If possible, reach for your ankles. So if you can find your ankles, great. If they're too far away, that's okay, but you want to still reach with your arms. So actively reaching with your arms, finding your ankles or not, and then inhale, tuck the tailbone and start to elevate. And let's just observe what this feels like to start to lift the hips. Usually the knees start to push forward over the toes. So what I want you to think about is bringing the weight back towards the shoulders so you can really get an elevation here. Now at some point the hands might not be able to hold on anymore, so just keep them flat on the floor and then keep reaching. If you have your ankles and you have a really good grip, try to keep the grip and also keep reaching. So there's different ways for you to try to do this. And then exhale all together. We'll come all the way back down. Good. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, roll up. Push back into the shoulders, hips up more, strong legs. Holding onto the ankles or not. Push, 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 push into the shoulders. And then exhale, roll yourself down. Once you're all the way down, hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little lower back massage. Okay, so now we'll go into the more restorative version of this where we use the block. We've done this many times before, but if you've always done it with the block at the short end, try at the middle end. If you've been doing it for a long time at the middle end, try the top end. So give yourself an opportunity to go a little higher than you normally do, as long as the body feels ready for it. So we're going to inhale, same thing as before, tuck the tailbone, lift the hips. This time we're going to slide the block at the sacrum. So I'm using that middle one to show you. But again, if you want the taller one, you would go to your toes and you would get it really high up like that. So once you're there, head is down, chin towards the chest, flatten out your feet, relax the shoulders. You can let your arms kind of come out, or if you want to really activate, bring your arms overhead. Keep your weight distributed between the soles of your feet, your sacrum, and maybe even the backs of your hands if they're extended up. The shoulders are down, the head is down, but we're not putting a whole lot of weight on the shoulders and head. Maybe a little bit on the shoulders, definitely not much on the head. Keep your knees parallel, so don't let your knees splay out to the side. Big toe side of the foot is grounded. Inner thighs are active. Let's stay just a few more breaths. One more. And then slowly, let's begin by simply bringing the arms up and over, down by your sides. Allow yourself a moment here with this change of the arms. If your block is at the highest or middle level, we're going to lower it to the lowest. So you might need to come to your toes to lift up a little bit more. Take the block to the lowest level and settle the sacrum back down. So now we're at the lowest level of the block. Feet flat on the floor. Very nice. So this already, even from going highest to lowest, gives you a little bit of a break. Again, we're going to take the arms overhead, reaching the shoulders back and down. And this time we're going to straighten the legs. One leg, other leg. Good, very nice. Feet are flexed, inner thighs are active, shoulders relaxed. So this might feel really easy for you. If you've been coming a lot, if you've been doing these types of movements for a long time or really kind of consistently, then you might want to make the block a little taller to give yourself a challenge. But sometimes it's nice, even if you know you can, to stay at a lower level. It just feels nice in the body. Maybe you're not pushing yourself to a limit, but you're actually feeling some restorative essence of it. This is the premise of our Monday night class. If you ever want to attend the Monday night class, this is what we do. We hold poses like this for a long time so that the benefits can really start to be felt through the body. Let's just be here for another breath. Exhale completely. First thing you're going to do with the inhale is bring the arms up and then down by your sides. And then you're going to slide your feet in. I like to do one at a time. It feels like I help my sacrum stay supported when I do that. And then you're going to lift your tailbone, pull that block out of the way, and resettle yourself back down to the mat. Once you're down on the mat, hug those knees in. This time, let's keep them a little bit apart. And then again, roll side to side, front and back, circles, half circles, whatever feels good. You can go fast, you can go slow, you can exaggerate the movement, you can make the movement very small or very big. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and going to bring the feet down. Going to place one block on each side next to your knees. We're going to take a Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come together, knees fall out to the sides. Now, this is trying to open up the inner thighs and the groin. So if you go ahead and place the blocks somewhere where you feel your legs are supported. So you don't want your legs to kind of be hanging and not really touching the block. You want to feel like the blocks are holding you. That might mean closer to your hips. That might mean farther away towards your knees. It kind of depends on your flexibility. For me, somewhere in the middle fits just right. So once you're there, let's take the arms up overhead. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call a fake sit-up. So notice the space that's in between my rib cage and the floor. There's a big gap there, right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to push the rib cage back to get rid of that gap, but keeping the arms up. And then we inhale, open the gap again. Exhale, pull everything down and in. Good. Inhale, create the gap. Exhale, get rid of the gap. So this starts to move our awareness into the rib cage. I'm going to show you here. So inhale, the rib cage opens. Exhale, the rib cage moves back. So tucking the rib cage back, the tailbone tucks a little bit. And then we lift, the tailbone tilts back. So pubic bone rolls back and the tailbone moves back when we lift. And then it all moves forward as the rib cage pushes into the mat. It's a very small movement. Let's try it a couple more times. See if you can bring awareness to that center part of your body. Tuck in and release. Tuck in and release. You can also do this with your arms by your sides. Tuck in. It's harder with your arms overhead. Release. 2 more. Tuck in. Release. Last one. Tucking everything in. Rib cage down and in. Tailbone moves forward. And release. Let's take the arms down so that you're making like a goalpost sign with your arms. The elbows are bent. The back of the hands are down. And let the rib cage be its natural position. Just keep trying to work on tucking the tailbone under. This will protect the lower back. And let's stay here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, knees are heavy. 3, 4, keep the shoulders relaxed, back of the hands on the floor mat. And 5. All right, release the arms all the way down. Grab a hold of your knees and help your legs come back. Use your arms to help your legs come back. Good. Once your legs are together, hug them in one last time. Give yourself a nice lower back massage. Let's move the blocks out of the way as we do that. And then now we'll set up for our final supine twist. Go ahead and plant the feet down on the mat. Let's take the right leg over the left leg like you're crossing the knees. So you're basically crossing your legs as you're laying down. Then we're going to take both knees to the left. So everything moves to the left. The right foot will probably come down first. And then maybe the knee comes down, maybe not. Don't worry about that. But you want to move your right shoulder out and down. Extend your arm. I like to kind of keep my hand somewhere at my belly or waist. It just feels like that's a comfortable place for it. But you can also extend it out to the left side, or you can bring it to your right thigh or knee to help pull a little bit more into the twist. So you choose what feels right for you. And let's stay here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring your head back to center first. You can bring your legs back to center. Give yourself a moment here. Let's extend the right leg up, flex and point through the foot. Maybe ankle moves around a little bit. Maybe reach it over your head, not with your arms, but with the strength of your own leg. And then exhale, bring it down. You can bend the knee, plant the foot on the floor. All right, other side. Left leg up and over. Cross your legs just like you would if you were sitting at a cocktail party. And then both your legs are going to come over now to the right. The foot comes down, maybe the knee, maybe not. It's okay if it doesn't. Mine never really makes it all the way down. And then you're going to take your left shoulder, reach it back and around, and extend that arm. Again, positions for your arm can be out like a T, hand on your belly or waist, or hand on your thigh or knee. So for me, the hand here just helps to soften the whole thing. Or you try all of the possibilities and maybe other ones that I haven't mentioned and see what your body needs today. Let's stay and breathe also for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring the head back to center. Bring the knees back to center. You can let the arms down by your sides. Release the left leg. Flex and point the left foot. Circle the ankle around a couple times. And then try to bring that leg over the head using and activating the leg as much as you can. Good. And then exhale, bring it down. All right, we'll go ahead and take Shavasana. So extend your legs out, palms facing up. I find that if my hands are too close to my body, it tenses my shoulders. So to release that, I just separate my arms from my body, like almost like out to the sides. And then now my shoulders have space. There's a little bit more softness and the fingers relax. Same with my legs. If my legs are touching or too close, I feel that they start to activate. So I want to not activate my legs. I want to relax them. So I separate them pretty wide, maybe as wide as your mat. And then I try to let the feet fall out to the sides. So I'm not flexing, I'm not pointing. The feet are just relaxed. And then it's a nice practice to just do a quick body scan every part of your body. You don't have to stop along the way to name it. You just have to feel your attention moving to that body part. And then making a conscious effort to relax it, to soften and to let go. You're welcome to come back to the awareness of your breath, but without trying to control your breath. So we're not looking to deepen, to lengthen, to shorten, to manipulate the breath in any way, shape, or form. We're just of being aware of the breath. Notice the quality of the breath. Is the breath shallow? Is the breath deep? Is the breath short? Is it long? What is happening with your breath right now? Is it erratic, not rhythmic? Does it feel cool or warm? These are all things that make up the quality of our breathing. One more deep breath, natural and easy. And we'll start to add gentle movement to the fingers and the toes, the hands, the feet, the wrists and ankles can begin to awaken. Even the legs and the arms, as you inhale, let's draw the arms up overhead, bring the feet together, full body stretch. Sometimes here it's a good idea to interlace your fingers and really activate as you reach the index fingers up, pressing the upper arms into the sides of the head and ears. Lengthen through the toes. You can flex the feet or you can point the toes, but this full body stretch can have a lot of benefits. Even a little side to side here might feel good. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself one more hug. Thank you, and squeeze. And then let's roll all the way to one side. Take a moment here to lay on your side for a moment. And you can use your bottom arm as a pillow. And then inhale, let's come up to a comfortable seat. Good. We won't be here in the seat very long, so you don't have to worry about props, but just get yourself situated. Allow yourself a moment of arrival, just like we did in the beginning of our practice. Kind of closing the circle, coming from starting or ending right from the point where we started. And we'll bring our palms together at the center of the heart. And together we can chant the sound Om if you wish. Inhale to begin. Om. Namaste.
Namaste.
So what I want to talk about today, and I'll give you guys a chance to ask questions after, but for now I'm going to mute you so that the audio comes through clear. But so 8 limbs of yoga, and we've talked about this briefly before, that yoga, one of the limbs that we practice in our asana classes, our asana, is only one of the limbs, right? I think it's the 5th limb. But there's the first limb I want to talk about today is the yamas. So there's yamas, niyamas. The yamas are considered to be like observances and ways that things that we should do in order for our own private lives to be better. So they're like how we go around the world and how we live our lives, and these are things that honor us. So the first one of this is what this is called, my business here, Ahimsa Wellness Yoga, right? So Ahimsa is what we're going to talk about today. Most of you have probably seen the name and you're like, what the heck does this even mean? And I know I've explained it a little bit. To be brief with it, Ahimsa just means nonviolence. Traditionally, that's what it means, nonviolence. but it's not in the sense of like you never do anything to harm. A lot of it has to do with intent. So one of the things I like to bring up about ahimsa is that, for example, say you were in a, I don't know, in a store or something, and someone comes in with a gun trying to hold up the store, and you have the possibility to help the people in that store by subduing the person that's come in, that's the threat, right? You're going to be causing harm to that person, but you're doing it with the intent to help the other people that are also being victimized by this person. So ahimsa is not, oh, I can't hurt this person because I am a yogi and I can't do anything like that. It's this figuring out in your own mind and understanding for yourself what is it that we need to do and when we need to do it in order to provide the best circumstances for everyone involved, including ourselves. So in an aspect, for me, I treat that up, that many of you know that I'm vegan. And the reason for that is because of ahimsa. So ahimsa aims to teach you to not do any harm you don't have to. So if I don't have to go and pay someone to kill a cow so for me to eat it, then why would I choose to do that? And this is not something that I don't want anyone to think that it's like I'm trying to tell you to not. It's about you making those choices. I'm just telling you what the word actually means. So there's some yoga sutras, which we talked about a little bit last week, that have this word ahimsa in it. And I wanted to read the sutra. So it's Yoga Sutra, chapter 2, verse 30. And the sutra says, Ahimsa sat yasteya brahmacharya parigraha yamaha. So these are all the um, yamas. Ahimsa is the first one. Satya is the truthfulness, which is the second one. Asteya, non-stealing. We'll get into these in the next couple of weeks. Brahmacharya, aparigraha, and yamaha are other parts of the yamas. These are all ways to deal with our own personal lives. These are all ways that we can make our own personal lives better by just following these simple things. So there's when you practice these things, the Yoga Sutras say, you're also given a gift. So by practicing these observances, you will gain great power, the Yoga Sutras say. Because we don't no longer give away our energy. We're focusing on staying pure within ourselves, and that way we're not longer giving away our energy to other things, whether it's consuming animals, or whether it's, talking about people behind their backs, or, doing things that just at the end of the day aren't very beneficial to us. So the second Yoga Sutra I wanted to bring up is chapter 235. And this one talks a little bit more about it specifically. So it's Ahimsa pratistahayam tat sanidau vairatyagaha. So firmly established. So prati means firmly, and then establish tyaham. Tat means this, and sanidau is close by or close to. Vaida, hostility, and abandonment. So what all of this means put together, being firmly grounded in nonviolence or ahimsa creates an environment in which others can also let go of their hostility. So if you notice little children, they're usually not scared of like bugs and cats and dogs. Usually that we learn that. It's a learned behavior to become afraid of other things. But little tiny children, they are so open-hearted and they're so loving, and there's not violence in them from the get-go. So they don't see that, oh, that being could hurt me, because they are not looking to hurt them. And so that's how I kind of understand this sutra a little bit. Another way of saying it is, when the yogi is firmly established in physical, mental, vocal, and spiritual nonviolence, there is abandonment of animosity by those who are in his or her presence. So the people around you won't be violent towards you because you are already practicing nonviolence within yourself and within those around you. So I guess that's kind of what I wanted to explain as far as ahimsa. I want to talk a million more other things about it, but I want to give you guys a chance to maybe give me your ideas or what you think, how you practice ahimsa, something like that, and we'll just have a little conversation, and then we'll go off about our day. So if you have any questions or any suggestions or any thoughts or ideas you want to share, you can unmute yourself and let me know.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm hesitant to say what I'm thinking.
Oh, please don't. There's no, it's totally okay to say whatever it is you're thinking.
When you were describing um, the different aspects of ahimsa, um, of the is like different aspects that nourish the self,
Mm,
that um, it reminded me of the fruits of the spirit.
okay.
The fruits of the spirit, there's like 10 of them that are listed, um, of joy, um, compassion, yeah.
I'll
Uh,
have to read on those. I don't think I've read up on those yet, but I love that.
well, it's a Christian. It's a
Okay.
it's a quote. It's a reference to I don't know even though the I can look it up the Bible verse that lists the fruits of the spirit.
I'll look it
It
up.
was something that I did my curriculum for 4-year-olds. My Sunday school curriculum for 4-year-olds was on the fruits of the spirit. So each week we would do a different. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to take up other people's time. But yeah,
I'll look that up and
I
to
just
see the
couldn't help but
similarity.
to.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
but
Patty, I think that most spiritual practices, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever it is, I think all of them kind of have the same foundation of, especially of ahimsa, which is nonviolence, right? Most
right,
religions
right,
do teach don't harm others, right? And so
right,
I think
right.
that is something that we all share as a baseline. It's just sometimes our own perspective and biases say, well, yeah, that means don't harm humans. Well, what about other beings, right? So then maybe it's just an expansion of our circle of compassion that includes everything else. But it's not just that, also with our thoughts, right? A lot of times we talk to ourselves with so much, we say mean things to ourselves, right? That we would never say to someone we care about or even to a stranger. And that's not ahimsa. If we're being cruel to ourselves, that's not being nonviolent. We're being violent to ourselves through our words or even through our thoughts. So considering that is a big part of it as well. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Kat.
You, you.
Do you wanted to say something, Sudhakar?
Yeah, basically the ahimsa is definitely, as you mentioned, everything is right, everything is context based, and you kill an animal for your food, that's okay, but just for the kill for fun is not good. And same thing is, gunman, like, you are saving other people to harm that's perfectly fine. In the war, warriors do that, right? In the war, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
What I take from our perspective here is the Ahimsa is like you mentioned this point, but I'm reiterating that's more relevant because we human beings kill ourselves unintentionally for no reason.
Mm.
Till, literally, you kill means you kill, like, you negative thoughts, fear, and
Anger.
all these things are nothing but you are killing yourself. That is big himsa.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing one has to stop. When that happens, and when you are compassionate, non-violent towards you, then you would be compassionate, non-violent with others also.
Right. Yeah, and it starts with ourselves, exactly. And the beauty of it is and actually you made a good point there because the opposite of ahimsa is himsa.
Yes.
Himsa
Mhm.
without the is violent, cruel, and means absence of that. So, in Sanskrit, many words are like that. They're built that way. So you have the root of the word, and then if you put in front of it, that means it's the opposite of that. So yeah, if we start with ourselves, being kind to ourselves, nonviolent to ourselves, then we can easily feel that we can't do that to others. If I'm kind to me, how am I going to be unkind to you? That's just really like not possible. And in the same way, if I pay attention and mindful of all the things that I do and how I do them, how I care about my day. You know, being present and mindful really helps you figure out, like, oh, wow, I just had that weird thought that, I don't know, my bangs look stupid, right? Just an example. They don't, they look cute. I love them. But let's
Yeah.
just say, let's just say I had this thought, oh, I shouldn't have cut my hair. My bangs look stupid. That's himsa. That's not ahimsa. Ahimsa is saying, oh, you know, I don't love them too much, but you know what? I'm going to do them, style them like this, and they're going to look cute. And now, you know, they're going to grow out. They'll be fine. That's practicing self-love and self-acceptance. And then now I'm in that state of ahimsa. And when I do that with consistency, just like our asana practice, right? Like when we first started doing dolphin, Mindy, right? We first started doing dolphin, not so fun, but it's gotten a little easier, a little bit better. Navasana, not so fun when we start, but as you continue to do it, gets a little bit better. So same with these practices, same with all of these limbs that we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks. The more we practice them, the easier they get, and the more they resonate within us, and the more they become part of us. Now we don't have to think, well, am I practicing ahimsa? Now you know you are, because you're living in that state. And when you're living in that state, others around you, so says the Yoga Sutras, others around you won't want to be violent towards you. Their animosity will dissipate. And so maybe one thing to check is, are people being violent towards me? Are people being mean towards me all the time? If they're not, maybe you are in some kind of a state of ahimsa. And if they are, maybe there is something that you need to bring to the forefront of your mind. What am I doing that is not, that is kind of violent to me or to those around me? So yeah, that's it. We kept it short. How are we doing on time? Perfect. Almost 15 minutes. I love it. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy your hike, Mindy.